San Francisco now has more legal authority to clear away homeless encampments. The city was handed that victory in a court ruling. And as KTVU's Ali Rasmus reports, it means laws can be enforced that prohibit sitting, lying, or even living on public property.
6 years ago, Ashley Jones was living on the streets of San Francisco.
I didn't think I was going to make it because I'd sleep in the parks here and there.
He says he was able to get into a shelter and get back on his feet. He now lives in his own apartment, but he understands why some people refuse an offer to stay in a shelter.
Most people are not going to go to so the shelter's about 300 people, 250 guys, 50 women, 2x3 bunks. If you can imagine being in a cabin or campsite when you go to summer camp, that kind of stuff. But it's not summer camp. You have to fingerprint. You have to take a picture. It's hard to be in a lights out 10 to 6.
Recent court rulings will make it more difficult for unhoused people to refuse shelter beds or camp on city streets. Yesterday, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals lifted what had been a temporary ban in San Francisco on widespread sweeps of homeless encampments. It comes in the wake of the U.S. Supreme Court ruling last month that it is constitutional for cities to cite and even arrest people for sleeping in public spaces.
Cities will end up being a bit more aggressive because voters complain about this.
When asked how aggressive San Francisco's homeless camp policies will become, Mayor London Breed's office didn't share specifics, but in a statement they said, quote, conversations with the city attorney are underway to inform our next steps, including how policies and procedures are updated.
I think we will see more crackdowns, and without necessarily having to spend the money to provide services like shelter.
The statement from the mayor's office goes on to say that the city will still offer shelter beds for people it moves off the street, but that, quote, we cannot allow for people to refuse services and shelter when offered and available. Even so, the Ninth Circuit Court order yesterday says San Francisco is still under court order not to throw away people's belongings, a requirement stemming from a lawsuit the Coalition on Homelessness filed against the city 2 years ago.
San Francisco cannot just destroy those belongings and put them in the trash. They need to essentially bag and tag it so that people can retrieve it. And again, we're talking things that have ranged from folks' medical equipment, prosthetics, medications, their vital documents, their IDs, and really personal belongings.
Despite the Supreme Court and Ninth Circuit Court ruling, the lawsuit by the Coalition on Homelessness against the city of San Francisco still stands. Next month, attorneys from both sides will be back in federal court to determine what will happen next with that lawsuit. In San Francisco, Ali Rasmus, KTVU, Fox 2 News.